All right, welcome everybody, and thank you very much for your participation and your interest in the Graph Academy. We have created this guide to show you specifically how to publish articles, posts, and pages over at the Graph Academy website, because navigating the backend, our CMS system, may not always be easy for contributors. So this is why we have created this quick guide and this quick tutorial to help you get onboarded with the Graph Academy and with the CMS that we are using, which is WordPress. So first of all, navigate, if you want to create a page, navigate over to Pages. Once you have arrived, simply click on Add New Page. And once it has loaded, click on Avada Builder, and from there, click on Pre-Built Page. Now what you can do is select Template, and then simply load the page template. Click on Replace All Page Content, and you have successfully loaded the template so that you can create a template or a page over at the Graph Academy. So next, what you have to do is simply insert a title. Then you can scroll down, you just can ignore the content for now until you have reached the end of the page. The title will be automatically inserted here. This section is specifically for search engines, so you can specify the text that you want to show in the search engine snippet. So give your article a suitable description until you see the green color, which means that the size of it is exactly right. If you add too much text, you will see that it gets orange, so just remove a little bit so that it is perfectly fine for search engines. Now it will also warn you that the title is not long enough, because we have a relatively short title, so if you lengthen the title a little bit, this warning will be removed on the search engine optimization page. It's still there, so we need to make the title a little bit longer. But now it's hopefully removed. All right, so this one is green as well. And this is basically all you need to do content-wise and search engine optimization-wise. So the next step would be to edit the URL. Now, in this case, test is perfectly fine. If you want to add something, you can add something, but be sure to make a relatively short URL, which is better for search engines. You can include a couple of keywords in here, but just make it look natural, which is all the more important and all the better. So if you want to specify a sub-URL, simply select Parent, and click, for example, if you want to publish the post in the Delegator section of the website, simply select Delegator Knowledge Hub. If you save the draft, you will notice that WordPress automatically adds the Delegator text into the URL so that it gets that the article becomes a subpage. So here it is. So if you want to add a featured image, you can do so here. In most cases, I simply recommend you to use the featured image that we have pre-selected. I will have to look it up what the name of the image is, because I don't have it handy right now, but we mostly use the graph background JPEG. So if you search for the graph background JPEG, you can simply set this image as set featured image. As a featured image, just wait until it's loaded, so this is fine. So for example, if you share the URL over at Discord, this image will be integrated in the right format over at Discord. So this is important, because if there is no featured image in the article, in the blog post, or in the page, it looks less interesting if you share it on social media. And I think this is about it with all the preparations. Here, yeah, we will come to the section later, but for now, all of this is perfectly fine. Now, what you have to do next is to publish the article. So don't worry, there is no automatic notification for readers or anything. You can perfectly publish the draft of your page, even if it has no content within it. Just make sure to finalize the article or the page a couple of days after you have published it. Now what you have to do next, because right now it is not correctly displayed over at the front end, what you have to do next is to switch to Avada and layouts. All right, once you are there, scroll down and select top level pages. Click on specific page and add a green check mark for the article or the page that you have just created. All right, so it will save. And once anything is saved, I can show it to you. It's saving now. And when I make the change, it's saving again. Once this is removed, you can click here and this is done. So now you can update the page. And once it's all updated, just wait a second, you can click on Avada Live, click OK. Wait until it loads. All right, so one thing I forgot to do was to set a title. Now, the title gets automatically inserted here, but you have also the option to create a subtitle, which we are going to do right now. Simply click on Exit to Page Backend. Scroll down to the end of the page. And right here, you can add a custom title. For example, if your title is too long, you can shorten it here. Be sure not to include a dot or anything like that because it is automatically integrated. And right here, you can define a custom text that shows below the headline. Once you've done that, simply click on Update. Just wait a second. Once it's updated, click on Avada Live, click OK. And then you are over at the live editor, which is a lot more easier to edit on, especially for people new to WordPress, new to websites. So you will see that the dot is not inserted correctly. In this case, I would have to go back, exit to page backend, and make the text a little bit longer or remove, I think, a space, because I believe I accidentally left a space here, so the dot is not displayed correctly. I would have to correct that. All right, so let's get into it. Editing with Avada, with the template that we are using over at the Graph Academy, is really simple. Simply hover over a field, and then you have all the options to select from and to edit. For example, if you want to change overview, hover over it, click on the button, click on the pencil symbol, and you can edit. Just make sure to capitalize headlines. And if you want to edit this text, simply click on this text, and then again, edit the text. Now with headlines, you need to make sure that you do not remove the dot, because it is specifically stylized in a way. So if you remove it, you can also see that the code is removed. So be sure not to do that so that it is correctly displayed. All right, to change the image, simply click on Image, Options, click on Edit, and for example, select a similar image with a similar dimension or insert your own image with these dimensions. You can see the image dimensions here in the media library. So for example, this image has a dimension of 1160 pixels. So be sure to insert a similar image. You can also click through images that are available and select them from the media library. These are already predefined images for you. Okay, so if you want to remove a particular section, for example, let's say you cannot use this section, simply click here and then on Delete Container, and it is gone. Be sure to save every couple or just a couple in a while. No, be sure to save every once in a while. Sorry, this is correct now. All right, and then you can, for example, edit the headline like this and add your text in here. If you want to use specific forms, you can, for example, drag them over here and make them display somewhere else. It's simply drag and drop, just where you want to have it display. All right, if you want to remove this section, do just the similar thing and remove all these individual canisters. All right, once this is done, for example, what you can do is you can alternate with the style. For example, you can add a block of text that is with a white background color, and then you can add a block with a grayish background color, and you can change the background color by clicking on Container Options and then navigating to Background, which is here, and then simply insert this color code as background color. And if you want to remove this particular color, simply remove it, and it is white now. But I want to leave it as it is, gray, and I insert this color code and it's displayed perfectly. So if you want to preview your website, simply click on the eye symbol and you can preview your website with all the prompts asking you to do something. All right. I think this basically covers all of it. You will also see that there is a section, a kind of navigation section for individuals, for visitors who have read the article and want to go back. For example, in this case, we would have to adjust this text because we have, as you remember, saved this page over at the delegator section of the website. So we would have to adjust and make it the delegator knowledge hub. And here is one particular issue because it does not fit into one line. So what we do is that we click on Options, reduce the column size, and reduce and increase this column size so that it is displayed in one line, which looks better. Now all we have to do is click on this column option and insert the correct URL, because everybody who clicks on this button will then be directed over to the delegator section of the website. And if you want to make this post part of a series, you can insert the link for the next article that you are planning in your series. But if you don't do it, simply insert something like coming next or coming soon, so that people are not falsely directed anywhere. Make sure that the link URL is left empty. All right, you can also insert a quick summary at the end of your article if you want to do that. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. Now you also have always the option to add an element within a page. For example, let's say in the summary you want to add an element, the element that I have just removed. So you click on the plus button and click on library elements, and you can see here are a couple of predefined and pre-styled elements that you can insert in this area. So for example, if I want to insert a list, I click on this one and I have a list inserted. If I do not like it, I simply remove it, and I do it always again for other elements that I want to display. All right, so let's say you see an element over at a website within the Graph Academy that you like. What you can do is click on column options and then save the column. For example, you could name this column green checkmark column and click on Save Column. And once you have saved it, you can easily insert this particular column wherever you want on the website. But to do so, you need to switch the view. So you need to toggle the wireframe view to insert a column, because in this view you can only add elements, but you cannot insert columns in this view. So what I did is that I switched over to the wireframe view, and then I simply have to select the position I want to add the column, and I'm doing this by simply clicking Add Columns, Library Columns, and then I can select the column that I have just saved. Now I'm going to do that, and you can see now it is inserted. And when I switch back, I can see it. So I have found it. It is now in the What is a Curator section. So this can be done by navigating to basically every website of the Graph Academy and simply copying whatever column you're interested in. So if there is a particular column or if a particular section, a container that you like, you can also save the container by clicking on Save Container and do the same for a container. Now to add a container, you simply have to toggle the wireframe again, scroll down to the position where you want to add the container and simply click on Add Container. All right. I think these are the most important things for you to know to publish a page over at the Graph Academy. So what we are going to do now is we save all of it and click on Exit the Dashboard once you are finished. Now, theoretically, once the page is finished, you would also navigate, for example, over to Delegators, the Delegator Hub, which is going to take a second to load the website. And once you are there, you simply scroll down and you would insert the page that you have just created in the section where it would fit. For example, let's say we wanted the article to insert it here, where it says miscellaneous. You simply click on Edit Live. And you would scroll down to the section where you want to insert the article, click on Open Nested Columns. Then you would clone the column so that you have a predefined template of the style you want to insert your page. And then you simply click on Icon Options. Then you can select a suitable icon for your article. Here you can define the headline of your article. Make sure to choose a headline that fits the style of the other articles. So I would have to insert a longer headline so that we have 2 lines and that it fits perfectly into this style. And then you can insert your text. Now also make sure that the text has the right size. And once you have chosen a text, you simply select the link text that you want to use and click on Insert or Edit Link. Click on this, and then you can search for the page that you have just created. Here it is. And simply click on Add Link. If it's an external link, make sure to open link in a new tab. But if it's an internal link, you can leave it as it is. All right, and that's about it. Make sure to finish this, because if you do not, it will not be saved. And then theoretically, if you wanted to leave it as it is, you click on Save, but I do not want to do that because it's not a real article. So I'm going to reload the page and discard all the changes that I've made. So I think the process for creating a post is pretty similar. So I will only quickly go over it. It's pretty easy for posts because I think pages are more complex and more difficult. Simply click on Add New Post. Then you click on Avada Editor or Avada Builder. Click on Pre-Built Page. Click on Template, and this time you select Blog Post Template. Not a page template, but a blog post template. Then you click on Load, and then you click Replace All Page Content. And make sure that you have created a new post, because if you select a page that is already existing, it would not be good because all the content would be removed. Now here you do all the things that you would normally do again. So you select a title, you add a search engine description, you insert your title here and your subtitle here. And with posts, there's one specific difference in that you also have to include an excerpt. Now this will, in this case, be displayed below the headline of the blog post. So we will see it in a moment. Just remember what I'm typing here and you will see it shortly. Now we add a title. All right, and make sure to edit the URL so that it is a clean edited URL like this, for example. All right, then you would click on Save Draft. And with posts, let's load it for a second. All right, let's have a look at the preview. And now you can see the headline and the headline text below that. And this is basically the blog post that you can edit. It's pretty straightforward. Simply hover over an element that you want to edit and you can edit it. Simple as that. So I think with blog posts it's a little bit more easier, and everything that I've previously explained to you also works with blog posts. So you can also add elements like this and save elements with this option. So not a big problem. What you see is that it is missing an image right now. So we would also have to insert an image, which you can do by simply clicking on Exit to Page Backend. And then you add a featured image. For example, by typing background. Oh no, let's choose another image that we have the right format. For example, this one is right, releasing unlocked GRT tokens. This is pre-formatted exactly in the right way so that it fits the blog post format. So if you insert an image of your own, simply make sure that it is 1280 pixels, and you can insert it by clicking on Set Featured Image. So let it load. Once it's loaded, you can click on Save Draft. All right, now once it's fully loaded, you can click on Avada Live. and then you can see the image is inserted into your blog post. If you preview it, it all looks fine and it can be published now. So in contrast to pages, you don't have to go over to Avada style and add a green check mark in here, so blog posts are a little bit easier to publish. I think this covers everything you need to know for getting started, but if you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out and get in contact with us. We will always help you in getting onboarded, because we want to provide you a really helpful and easy onboarding experience with getting in touch with us and getting onboarded with the Graph Academy. So feel free to reach out. And until then, happy contributing and thank you very much for participating in the Graph Academy.